David Goggins may be a name you've merely heard echoed in passing conversation. Some of it may have been positive, some of it may have been negative. But today, I'm here to let you know the truth of David Goggins and the message that he spreads for all. Today, I'll walk you through David's upbringing and the challenges he faced from a young age, the mind-bending exploits he has accomplished throughout his whole lifetime, and the message that he preaches for all to live their life by. David was born in Buffalo, New York, and raised in Williamsville, New York. From a young age, he faced many challenges, and the first of which, and the largest in his young life, was his father, Truenus Goggins. Truenus was a man who on the outside had a happy smile and was a friend to all, but David truly knew that his day-to-day was the equivalent of walking through a minefield, never knowing what action might set off his father to beat him relentlessly and abuse him for hours on end. He wouldn't know if that day would be the day he would have to watch his mother, Jackie Goggins, be beaten and dragged down the stairs by her hair, powerless to do anything. It pains me not to be able to go in further detail about the horrors that his father committed on his own family. There's just not enough time to do so. David also had troubles within school. Despite being in the second grade, he was unable to read and write above a kindergarten level, which is something he struggled with throughout his entire life. David then escaped from Williamsville, New York with his mother to Brazil, Indiana. Although escaping from his father, this did not make his life much easier. He was still poor and struggled to live day to day with his mother. And within school, he faced constant racism from those around him and having threats on his life just for the color of his skin. The KKK was also prevalent in the town at this time, so much so that he was able to witness a KKK parade right outside of his own window. When David entered high school, he had a vision for his future, which was the Air Force. But one of the big obstacles that was in his way was the ASVAB, a multi-skills test that is required for anyone to take before entering the armed forces. With his learning disability, this was a large hurdle for him to overcome. And in his junior year, he cracked down on studying and getting his education in check to pass the ASVAB. And after many failed attempts, he finally made it into the Air Force. And 4 years later, after getting out, he was fat, broke, and depressed, working for a cockroach company for 2 years, living an unfulfilled life. And soon thereafter, he decided that he did not want to live like this any longer. And after a particularly rough day at work, he came home and jumped in the shower and had the TV on in the living room. And he heard about BUDS Class 224. BUDS is a Navy SEAL assessment and selection program designed to weed out those who want to become a Navy SEAL. David was intrigued by what he was hearing on the TV, and it struck a chord with him. And soon thereafter, he sought out a recruiter for the Navy SEALs. Although being fat, black, and having prior service, he was not a prime candidate for any recruiter. Oftentimes, they would laugh at him over the phone after hearing his weight, or once seeing him in person, they would laugh straight to his face after sending him away. Although he found one recruiter who told him that he would have to lose 106 pounds in 3 months to make the weight requirement for the Navy SEALs. By some stretch of the imagination, he was able to accomplish this feat by sheer consistency, will, and determination that I unfortunately just can't go into detail about. After making it into the Navy SEALs, after making it into BUDS, he only stepped further into hell. Throughout the BUDS program, candidates have to complete Hell Week, which is an event lasting from Sunday to Friday, where candidates must be awake for 132 hours, being only allowed 4 hours of sleep. During this time, they must endure some of the hardest training in the US military, and by extension, the hardest training in the entire world. Due to certain setbacks due to certain setbacks and events, David was made to go through this hell 3 different times and made it through each time. David is not the kind of man who will give you the option to sit and feel sorry for yourself or let you feel as a victim to your situation. David is of the opinion that many people die before being able to realize their full true potential. He tells you that no one is going to come save you, and it is on yourself to push yourself into being the best person you can be. It's human for most of us to feel such emotions, feeling that we've given everything we can in life and that we are backed up into a corner and there's nothing else we can do except be a victim to our situations. And when I get into these places in my mind, I think of the horrors that David was forced to endure as a kid, and he had every reason to feel as a victim to a situation and not push any further, but he pushed on. I think of the unimaginable things he has accomplished in his life through sheer willpower and courage, and keeps me pressing forward. I think of I think of the words that David preaches that I hear often that echo within my mind and give me the courage to press further on and continue what I must do. I urge all of you to do your own research about David because I was not able to go into nearly enough detail about this man. But there's one thing he tells us all to do that you can all live by, and that's to stay hard. Thank you.